meditate on this. The subconscious mind is like a black hole. It's a vacuum. It pulls in everything that crosses its path. The portals or gateways to the subconscious mind exist on the human body, in the human body. Some of them are called ears, some of them are called eyes. And you receive certain signals and things and messages, etc., through these senses, through these tools for senses, sight, hearing, etc. But no matter what you do, no matter what you put in front of your ears, no matter what you put in front of your eyes, just understand that the subconscious mind is going to receive that and it's going to be embedded within you in perpetuity. It's going to be with you forever. And the people in power know this. The ruling class know this, and they do a damn good job of putting things in there that are not going to lead to quality of thought. It's important that you take control of this and try to embed things with high quality of thought into your subconscious mind, so that when they come back to the surface, when they come back, they pop out on the other side, they're fruitful. The things that are good for you, things that lead to quality of thought. So try to embed good things in your subconscious mind. Now that we know we have to program the subconscious mind, do that consciously, the next question becomes, with what? I believe we need to start with music. Music is very natural. Everybody loves music. They're even treating dementia with music, because music can take you to the past, bring you to memories, the vibe. Everything is just seems to come into focus clearly. It's easily visualized when you put music and have a soundtrack to your life. And so what type of music do we listen to? You know, it's part of our daily ritual. It's part of our daily dealings in programming the subconscious mind. The type of music we listen to is very important. And think about quality of thought. Is your music going to nurture the idea of quality of thought? Or is it ratchet? Is it supremely ghetto? Is it trash? Or is it breathing life into you? Right? It's the difference between listening to, something that's promoting death as to something that's promoting life. Looking at some of the neurological effects that happen when you listen to certain types of music, nourishing the brain with that type of music. The TV shows you watch, the movies you watch. What type of shows do you watch, and how are you inspired by them? What are the images that are being implanted in your subconscious mind from the movies and TV and the media that you watch, from the things you watch on YouTube, etc., etc. If you look at one of those controversial stories about TikTok, I said that Chinese people, or the Chinese Communist Party, whatever, has a different algorithm than the one for the Western nations. The one in the Western nations, the kids are watching videos that go viral, doing pranks and all types of silly stuff. And China's algorithm is showing kids completing puzzles and doing math. These are the things they're promoting because they understand the programming of the subconscious mind is very important for the future of your people and where they're going. So with that same concept in mind, what type of media are you always being influenced by? What type of media do you constantly force yourself to be influenced by? What if we saw images of love all the time instead of images of destruction, war, etc., etc.?
What type of media is Hotep Jesus influenced by?
I like the old stuff. I like the classics. Mostly written work, literature. That's the type of stuff I listen to. I listen to a lot of lectures. One of my favorite lecturers is John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Kaba Kamene. Those are like two of my faves. I like listening to scholarly work, scholarly teachers. I go to bed to to chess videos, but I also need some gangster in my life. You know, I'm not perfect, but I need some, you know, I need some cartel gang member, you know, type programming. This is, you know, that's the stuff I happen to like. You know, I like violent movies. I like heists. I like heist movies, like The Italian Job and Ocean's 11 and, you know, those types of things. I like military movies. Like, I thought the new Top Gun was amazing. But I also try to be conscious of what I'm seeing, and so, you know, what's clear is we're going to come across some content that is not going to nurture quality or high quality of thought. So what we have to do is we have to wrap this stuff with labels. So what you can do is when an image appears before your subconscious mind, what we can do is we can frame it. So when it gets embedded and it gets stored within your mental hard drive, it's filed in a folder, you know, marked bad, marked good, marked to question, marked, you know, you can label these things. So sometimes when things come into our subconscious mind, we don't frame it, we don't put a label on it. I think we have to say, okay, if I'm watching a movie and they're murdering people, let's say for instance, as we're watching this, we got to label that bad. This is bad. This is no bueno, right? And even some labels that your personal opinion might weigh in on, and how you manage this stuff logically. So even though everything is going to be received by your subconscious mind, and some things you may enjoy, some pieces of content you may enjoy, it's very important to frame that stuff and label that stuff. So when it gets into your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind knows, okay, this is this and this is that. So it knows clear difference. It's not just sitting there to be sprouted later on in the wrong manner or intent. What is your receptivity? Are you receiving the signals, or are you only transmitting them? You have to tune your inner radio to receive messages, not only send them. Sometimes we get caught up with our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is constantly sending signals out to the universe, to God, to friends, family, etc., etc. But sometimes you have to reset yourself and come back to zero and just say, I'm not intending to send any messages, I'm intending to receive them. I call it no mind. I've spoken about this in the past. I want to open up the mind, enter a state of receptivity, to receive the signals, to be imbued by God. Messages, prescient visualizations, to be omniscient. All these things are made possible by entering a receptive state, by dismissing the world and all of its physicalness, dismissing the world and all of its 3D-ness, dismissing the matrix, forgetting you are of this physical dimension. Dismissing all of that, obviously easier said than done, but moving away from all of these things, dismissing them from their mind. And the easiest way to do that is to actually distract yourself. You have to distract yourself with the senses. It's much easier to enter a state of receptivity when you're out here and you have the breeze blowing against your skin. That's easy to meditate on. When you have the waves you can look at, the seagulls passing over your head, the sun and the way the sun shimmers off the surface of the water, the clouds, the people, all these things, if you allow them to, will open you up to receptivity. They make you receptive. In order to turn off your brain, you got to turn on your 5 senses. Or when I say brain, I mean that conscious mind sending signals and trying to enter a state of receiving the signals. For example, you can't eat and think at the same time. You're either tasting your food or you're thinking. You can't do both at the same time. You can do intervals. You can think and then taste, think and then taste. But while you're tasting your food, the only thing you're thinking about is, this food tastes good. You only think about the food. So sometimes I like to hijack my subconscious when I don't have an environment like this. or hijack the conscious mind with a teaspoon of honey, a tablespoon of honey. That taste completely absorbs your conscious mind and focuses it in because that taste is just so full. So that's another way to hijack the conscious mind and put yourself in a place of receptivity. But the lesson here is remembering that in order to enter receptivity, sometimes you have to distract yourself, but distract yourself with those natural things that exist all around us. Enter a state of receptivity.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there, you understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
Black women out here getting busted in the head with bricks? What's going on, man? The Grift Report starts now.
2, 1, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
And
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
What's up, people? We back. It's the Grift Report, live daily, 2 p.m. I'm your host, the Grift God, Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Disclaimer. This stream contains adult humor and was created strictly for comedic and artistic purposes. No offense is intended toward any individuals or products featured in this video. Let's get that business handle knocked out the way. What up, chat? Let me say what's up to my chatters. Stream is a little bit different. What up, Jeff? Just got off the phone with Jeff. We chopped it up for like an hour, talking big business. You know what I mean? Talking big money talk, you know. You said is Rumble down? It looks like Rumble's working, but there's nobody in a Rumble chat. So, and I just sent a message to Rumble and it did something weird. So I don't know what's going on with Rumble. Jay's World said, we on that Grussel, Hotep and Build. You already know. David Murdoch said, yeah, I can't pull it up. Really? Grussel and Motivate. I don't know what's going on. Jay Pylon. What up, Jay Pylon? I got a lot of CBDC news to catch y'all up on today. A black woman got busted in the head with a brick. We're going to take a look at that story, see if she got anything to complain about or if she deserved it or not. And Proud Boys, Tarrio was sentenced. I want to go right to that. I want to get right to Enrique Tarrio and the Proud Boys sentencing and see exactly what's going on here. So let's get that up on your screen. And then we'll get to more important issues after. All right, so it says here, this is NPR. He was convicted for a seditious conspiracy. What evidence did he have to say, like, because I know he was extracted the day before. I'm not going to sit here and do the Googles for it, but I'm 99.9% sure Jan 6 happened, but on Jan 5, this guy was arrested. I called it an extraction because this guy is clearly an FBI informant, according to several media outlets. It says prosecutors wanted him sentenced to 33 years in prison for his role in conspiring with his lieutenants to stop the certification of the 2020 presidential election results. Said Tarrio's co-defendants have been sentenced to prison for shorter than what the government requested, though Tarrio is considered one of the leaders of the plan to take over the Capitol. It's likely he will face a sentence in line with his co-defendants and fellow leaders of the Proud Boys of the Jan 6 rioters, the head of Seattle chapter of Proud Boys, convicted on a separate case. These guys got 18 years. They got roofed. Damn. A fifth defendant, Dominic Pizzola, was acquitted on that charge, but found guilty of assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers in robbery involving government property. So he took some souvenirs home on January 6th. Tarrio, prosecutors wanted to see Biggs get 33 years, but they gave him 17. Tarrio was also convicted for obstructing an official proceeding, conspiracy to prevent an officer from discharging their duties, obstruction of law enforcement during a civil disorder, and destruction of government property with a value of $1,000. Now, this is what I thought. It says right here, Tarrio wasn't at the actual Capitol riot because he had been arrested days earlier. Not days earlier, the day before, if I remember correctly, January 5th. Why doesn't NPR know this? And he said it was for setting a fire to a Black Lives Matter banner stolen from Asbury United Methodist Church in Washington, D.C., and was ordered out of the city. Prosecutors say from a hotel outside of D.C., Tarrio directed his Proud Boys to attack the Capitol without him. Tarrio's attorneys have said he wasn't in contact with any members of the organization during the riot and pointed to Nordine and Biggs as being the orchestrators of the riot. Further, they said, participating in a plan for the Proud Boys to protest on January 6th is not the same as directing others on the ground to storm the Capitol by any means. Prosecutors also wanted to apply terrorism enhancement to Tarrio and the others' cases, which leads to longer prison sentence given their crimes. Judge Kelly did apply it to Biggs, Rel, Pizzola, and Nordine. Tarrio's attorney has said in court filings that it's such an enhancement is a tool to punish Tarrio because he went to trial rather than pled guilty. What evidence did they have? Chat, did they have any evidence that he did this? Because I didn't follow the trial. They got like secret recordings. Did they have a wiretap? Like, how do they know for a fact that he was involved? It says expressed his support for rioters online and was in touch with his co-defendants on the ground, prosecutors say. So if they don't have evidence, that means somebody was snitching. Somebody snitched. Maybe they snitched to get a shorter sentence. What does AP say? Associated Press. Department of Justice wants 39 to spend more than 3 decades in prison. Yeah, okay, so it says Tarrio wasn't in Washington on January 6th. He was arrested 2 days earlier. Was it 2 days? I thought it was 1 day, man. I thought he got picked up on January 5th. I thought it was the night before. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Anyway, it's not important. I want to know the evidence. Tarrio has repeatedly and publicly indicated that he has no regrets about what he helped make happen on January 6th. Okay. Oath Keepers is a sentence and a punishment. Okay. Lawyers for the Proud Boys deny that there was any plot to attack the Capitol or stop the transfer of presidential power. Okay, here we go. There is zero evidence to suggest Tarrio directed any participants to storm the U.S. Capitol prior to or during the event. Participating in a plan for the Proud Boys to protest on January 6th is not the same as directing others on the ground to storm the Capitol by any means. Yeah, I don't think anybody planned. Here's what I think happened on Jan 6. I don't think anybody planned on storming the Capitol except for this guy right here. I'm gonna show you. Right here, this guy. No, this isn't a thorough article. Here's the guy who breached the Capitol. He was an Antifa. Oh, that's giving me. Okay, let's go. BLM Sheffield FBI informant. Nope. Is this it? FBI tracked an informant. Let me see. No, that's not the article. Yo, what's his name? Chat, y'all remember his first name? It was something Sheffield. Jeff said he thought it was the night before too. Yeah. He said the whole thing reeks of an op. Yeah. Steph Colonel said Tarrio got extracted the night before. Yup, Don Day, I'm on that Master Focus. You already know. Yo, what was his name? Something Sheffield. See, my memory's good enough to remember the name. Wait, no, let's keep that tab open. Let's go. Let's try Sheffield FBI, or let's just try informant and see what happens. And let's see. Okay, informant, and then let's try Antifa and see if that pops up. Here we go. I think this is it. No, that article does not mention him. What, they scrub his file from the internet? I used to find this guy so easily. Why can't I find him now? FBI said no indication Antifa took part in the Capitol riot. I know it's not directly connected to Antifa. It's just their operatives were there and on the front line, like right there, like that breach, when that door breached, that was Sheffield that breached the Capitol. He was the first guy in the door. And there's footage of him walking around the Capitol. Chat, help me out. What's his first name? I want it. John Sullivan? Okay, maybe Sheffield's a different guy. Let's try John Sullivan. Oh, no. I think you're right. I think it's this guy. Yes, my bad. I said Sheffield. My bad. Sullivan. That's why I couldn't find it. This guy right here. Let's look at. Okay, so Wiki has a page on him. Self-identified photojournalist. It says, before the January 6th attack, Sullivan organized and participated in protests related to Black Lives Matter movement. Though some of those organizations disavowed him, even expelling Sullivan from rallies and warning fellow activists to avoid associating with Sullivan. He reportedly shouted encouragement to fellow rioters. Sullivan captured footage of the attack, his own interactions with law enforcement, and the shooting of Ashley Babbitt. This is how you know he was on the front lines, because he was there with Ashley Babbitt, and we know she was right there at that door. After Sullivan participated in the Capitol attack, Rudy Giuliani accused him of being affiliated with Antifa despite no evidence.
I mean, I got to be honest with you. I don't think we ever had much evidence of him being Antifa, although he did participate in their rallies and things of that nature. But the thing is, this is a loaded thing, and you guys need to know this. When talking about Antifa, you have to be very clear that Antifa is not an official organization on paper. The way they speak of Antifa is it's a decentralized group, and anybody can pop up and identify as Antifa. So when they say he was accused of being affiliated with Antifa despite having no evidence, Antifa does not keep evidence of association. You'd have to discover that on your own. You'd have to run up on these guys and pull their mask off and say, aha, Sullivan participated in this. You know what I'm saying? But they are a decentralized organization, which makes them quite dangerous. 2020, he was attending BLM rallies. Let's skip this. Let's go to his FBI ties, because he's an informant. Activist previously arrested. Look at this motherfucker. This motherfucker look crazy. Hold on. I got my blockers on. Let me turn my blockers off. Why none of these articles? All right, give me an article that just includes informant. Here we go. Here's one. The New Yorker mentions this, where he was a possible informant. What else do we got while that's loading? It might not load because I got my blockers on. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right, some wondered whether he was a police informant or a spy for the far right. So that's the only mention of this? No, there's another article that like specifically mentions him. Is this it? Seattle Times, let's see. According to the affidavit, stranger told an informant that he did not realize the man attacked the same FBI informant in the Stanger. No, this isn't it. Here we go. Red State. Okay, so Red State would have this. In my orbit, why is Insurgents USA and FBI informant John Sullivan being ignored by the media? Okay, so we might get something in here. So it says here, John Sullivan is being used by the FBI as an informant, right? And they have his testimony right here. Anti-Trump activist Earl Sullivan sees more legal trouble after Capitol riot. It says in his informant testimony, John Sullivan deliberately accused journalist Andy Ngo of being part of the mob who broke into the Capitol on January 6th. But he was an informant before this. I believe. I could be wrong. What is this? Whoa, what is this? Gateway Pundit. Let me see. FBI. All right, so Gateway Pundit didn't include it in the text. Was it the New York Times? Here we go. I think it was the New York Times. According to a complaint. All right, is Sullivan mentioned here? Come on, go. Wait, what is this? He's not. Oh, here we go. Point affidavit. He filmed various scenes. Also, he filmed the fatal shooting of Ashley Babbitt. This dude is an op, yo. John E. Sullivan. Yeah, he's an op. I'm not gonna waste more time here, but this guy right here, if you go do your Googles on this guy. At some point, I ran into an article with him being an informant. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think anybody had plans to breach the Capitol outside of ops. And you know, when I say ops, what I mean by that, and provocateurs like John Sullivan. Isn't there footage online somewhere? Anomaly's interview with Vivek is over. I'm gonna have to watch that. I might do a stream on that. We might watch that together. Maybe I'll do that this weekend or something like that. We'll pick it apart. So let's go. John Sullivan. Jan 6. Because this motherfucker was walking all around. And I've shown this video before of him walking around the Capitol. But this dude he was right there on the front lines. Did Antifa participate in the Capitol riot? This doesn't have footage. Look at him. This motherfucker's an op. All right,
it's the shocking video of Capitol rioter Ashley Babbitt getting shot and killed by a police officer as she tried to break down the door that led to the House of Representatives. The video was taken by 27-year-old.
He looks sweet as shit right here. Who is this motherfucker and why he looks sweet as shit now?
John Sullivan, who sees himself as a heroic
probably changed his image after the attack.
Journalist doing his job and recording history as it happened.
If I chose not to go that day, none of that footage would have been shown to the public. We might have never even seen Ashley.
Okay, this is the one I remember. This is
Smoking
this is the
gun
angle
that
I remember.
suggests Sullivan wasn't just there as a working journalist. Was he really there as another insurrectionist?
Let's go! Let's burn the down.
See?
You could be heard
You
on
heard
your
him.
own
Let's burn the
camera
shit down.
instigating the rioters.
Anything I said was to protect myself. Anything I said was to keep myself from being basically beat up by Trump supporters.
I'm driving right now, but
Oh, that's his excuse?
like really heated.
Abbott and Air Force.
That's his excuse? Oh, so they ran a little. I bet you. Did John Sullivan ever get incarcerated?
Evidence, the video shot by Sullivan.
I was going there to tell that story of these people who are so-called.
I don't trust that one. They look like he's a Fed, yo. This dude reeks of Fed. They gave him a softball interview.
Folks.
I didn't even know they did. I didn't even know they gave him a softball interview. Then he cleaned up his image and shit. Here we go. This is the breach.
Like, I'm just trying to record what
he was going in there to document it, but he also was part of the Antifa groups.
I also, want to support the Black community out here too in the best way that I can. That's my belief. I believe the Black Lives Matter. I mean, I'm not here to assert myself and my beliefs on other people.
I don't want to hear shit he got to say because he's a fucking liar.
2020 for criminal.
He's an op, yo.
Very serious question.
He got paid for this footage? Oh, he's definitely an op.
Afternoon on Insurrection Day, and the mob has found its way to the entrance of the Speaker's lobby.
Let me through. I got a knife. I got
See? Look at him. Watch him. Let me through. I got a knife.
That was yelled out. Indeed. He was charged with violent entry into the Capitol and interfering with police. Dude, you're not helping. You're not helping. You're not helping.
That's him. This is him in the front. This is him in the front. This isn't Proud Boys. This is FBI informant, alleged Antifa and BLM operative,
You're gonna get me hurt.
John Sullivan.
That was his voice too. Sullivan was filming all this, you see, and he can be heard shouting, among other things, "Burn this, S-H-I-T, burn this down." He smashes a window.
He got close to 100,000 for that footage.
on his own video offering the knife.
Hey guys, I have a knife.
Hey guys, I have a knife. Hybrid says his father, John Sullivan Sr., was a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army. Yeah, this is some COINTELPRO shit. But here he is offering the knife.
Now, here's the thing. The court documents in his proceedings include evidence that media outlets then paid Sullivan, presumably for his video footage. CNN ran some of that video and even interviewed Sullivan about the right wing that allegedly caused all this violence, or that caused a lot of it. And in those court documents is also a remittance advice from our own ABC confirming that it paid this same guy $2,375 US after tax, after he had been charged. So this morning, I asked the ABC for...
Yo, wait. They paid him after he was charged, so he got charged and was still getting checks cut?
For an explanation. I asked, why did it pay John Sullivan? Did it know that Sullivan had actually been charged already with violent entry of the Capitol and hindering police before the ABC paid him? Did it know that his...
Come on, man. Did ABC know? Oh, this guy reeks of an op, yo. This dude gotta be Charlie Indigo Alpha.
Own video shows him inciting the crowd, burn this down. And if it did know that, why didn't it say so in its report? Why didn't it say, well, actually, not all the rioters were what we said. Armed men in body armor who were of the far right, because at least one was of the left, and we just paid him your money. Now, the answer I've got is silence.
He said the answer I've got is silence. Is that what he said? Did I hear him correctly? Did I hear him correctly? And so all these articles, all these videos on YouTube were just cover-ups for Sheffield. They're all cover-ups.
Sullivan answered no, even though he's heard on recordings inside the Utah's Capitol riot suspects is asking a judge to suppress his interview with the FBI. John Sullivan's lawyer says in a court filing, an FBI agent did not read him his Miranda rights. The agent questioned Sullivan about his activities at the Capitol on January 6th, including whether he had a knife. Sullivan answered no, even though he's heard on recordings inside the Capitol telling people he had a knife. A grand jury indicted Sullivan with a felony count of lying to federal agents, as well as carrying a weapon into a restricted building and other counts related to the insurrection itself.
See, everybody was worried about Ray Epps and Enrique Tarrio. Whatever became of this guy? Mr. I got a knife. Here you go. I'll help you breach the Capitol. And then snitch on everybody to the FBI. Something's funny money with this cat, yo. So the whole idea that he caused trouble all over, yeah, he was a provocateur in many different places. And that's why I think he's an op. I don't think he's BLM. I don't think he's Antifa. I don't think he's Proud Boys or Oath Keepers. I think he's Charlie Indigo Alpha or frankly Beverly Institute. This is insane. This is insane. So I can't even sit up here and say I support Antifa or anything like that, because I don't know enough about the organization to say I do or don't like them. I'm not associated at all. But I can't see Antifa coming up with not Antifa, Proud Boys saying that they wanted to breach the Capitol. Maybe they did. I'm not gonna say they didn't. I just can't see it as an organized op. Or maybe Proud Boys is the op. But then those guys wouldn't have got roofed like that with those sentences. But the way Sullivan is there on front lines, I think it's more to this story. And I don't know whatever happened to well, let's see if he's ever sentenced. Let's see if John Earl Sullivan. I mean, just the name John Earl Sullivan, right? Like that right there tells you alone, right? Sentencing. Let's see what his sentencing was. Oh shit. Okay. Pled not guilty. All right. Case status, initial appearance, indicted. Defendant remains on personal recognizant bond and has status conference set for updated August 2nd, 2021. Okay, so we don't have anything. Okay. He got 2 weeks. He got 2 weeks. That can't be right. This can't be right. They're not talking about Sullivan here, surely. Oh shit. Okay, let's see. Status conference. Utah-based political activist. Fighting a brother, also seeking a clawback. Funds obtained by filming and selling would not have existed but for Sullivan's illegal participation. According to the Sullivan feature, U.S. District Court, no relation to the Democrat, issued an order denying the release of funds. While activists since filed a motion to reconsider. So his trial was set for March 4th. Why don't we know? So everybody just stop. Nobody. Does Wiki even have any finality on what happened? Arrest and charges. Okay. All right. So now we have his arrest and charges. Appear to court 2020. 2 computers, cell phones, job. No. Has a minimum, does not possess firearms. He was released as the authorities did not have sufficient proof to keep him in custody. Under the conditions that he keeps a job and works full time. Remains at home except to go to work, church, or court. Only posts on social media to request jobs. Does not leave Utah. What's up with his case? Okay, wait a second. Time out. So his footage, which he made money from, was used to convict others, but wasn't enough to keep him in jail? Wow. Okay, so Giuliani published a screenshot of a message from James Sullivan reading, "I'm currently working with the FBI to expose and place total blame on John and 226 members of Antifa that instigated the Capitol riot." So there's 226 alleged members of Antifa, according to a message from James. Federal authorities had not identified Sullivan as a member of Antifa, and the FBI had announced on January 6th there was no evidence of Antifa involvement. BLM Utah had for months disassociated itself. Where's these text messages? You see what I'm saying, y'all? This dude gotta be Charlie Indigo Alpha. Or his daddy's just connected. And everybody's focused on the Proud Boys and Tarrio. Even the right wing don't even talk about Sullivan. The right wing just, this is why I always bring him up. He had the same lawyer as T.I. James Earl. What I tell you about people with 3 names? I mean, yeah, 2 first names. Jabari just said it right there. 2 first names is always a clue. James Earl. John Sullivan. John Earl Sullivan. So, in conclusion, it's quite obvious that they wanted to come down on any organization, right? And my guess is whatever plans the Proud Boys had for Jan 6 had very little to do with breaching the Capitol, maybe causing a ruckus, maybe, and then somehow they construe that with, you know, their actions once inside the Capitol. But nobody's talking about John Earl Sullivan. Insane. I think Sheffield was the white informant from another case, another stream I did. This is the problem. When you stream, all these names come together. You DM me a late entry into the Grift bag? All right. Let's go into this black woman that got her head bust with a brick. Then we're going to go into our CBDC update. Hold on. Let me get my bag. I got so many tabs open here. Close that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 CBDC articles to go through. They're really quick. Only one of them is insane. But really fast. Congratulations to Coco Gauff. Coco is the first American teen to reach the U.S. Open semifinal since Serena Williams. She's 19 years old in 2001. She defeated Ostapenko 6-0, 6-2 for the most lopsided major win of her career, excluding retirements and walkovers. Damn, she whooped her ass. Damn, 6-0, 6-2. Got your ass whooped. That was a semi? No, that was the quarterfinal. Insane. All right, let's go in the bag. I forgot about this. Tweet. Hold on. Let me give you this. Okay. And then I adjusted my screens this morning. Let me just make sure this looks good on your screen, and then we can begin looking at this. This is funny. So Sonny Johnson says, well, let's look at Rob Smith. Rob Smith says, Gen Z conservative influencer personalities take more risks. The world does not need another Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, Rob Smith, Charlie Kirk, Larry Elder, Brandon Tatum. Do not do what has been done before. Get bolder, riskier, and more creative. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. I know he said some suspect shit earlier. Headed to NYC Fashion Week, sitting front row in a few shows, doing fashion, turning looks. This is homo as hell right here. Pause. Turning looks. This is really gay. That is the influence. That is the impact. That is the vibe. I am openly Republican. I go where the culture is, and it ain't on cable news or some dry conference. Listen, Rob. Culture ain't at the fashion show. Culture is not at the fashion show. I know people are going to say, oh, well, fashion is part of culture. Yeah, but the culture ain't at the fashion show. The culture is not the fashion show. It's not happening there. There's more culture happening at the church than the damn fashion show, bro. Get the fuck out of here. There's more culture happening in music than at the fashion show. You know what happens at the fashion show? The gay shit happens at the fashion show. It's just the fact of the matter. Gays run that industry. And you know why you're there? You're not there because you're a black Republican. You're there because you're gay, okay? You're there because you're in shape and you're gay. That's why you're in the fashion show, Rob. And there's one thing we all know is that gays, they stick together. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's the fact of the matter, because you're going to go there and you're going to probably fuck a bunch of dudes and they're probably going to fuck you or whoever's the top bottom. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Pause, no homo. But the fact of the matter is this has nothing to do with culture. That's everything to do with gay culture. It's everything to do with gay culture. It's not our culture. This is gay culture. Fashion shows, gay culture. This is female gay culture. Strong black men are not going to the fucking fashion shows outside of your fucking rappers and shit, right? Your Kanyes and your Pusha T's, right? And all of that drama, right? But this is not the culture. You're there. You wouldn't be there unless you were gay. Let's just call a spade a spade. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. The culture. That's not the culture. Sonny John says, reminder, he was right there with all these people. When we spoke against him, he defended them. he's who he's talking about. Yeah, real talk. Uncle Hotep, he got a new crush. Kentucky Adele. Let's see what this bitch talking about.
Daddy raised a rebel, please don't get me fired up. A little bit of country with a whole lot of thug. We can kick it in the sticks or we can slang it in the slums. A trench, baby, but I can take it all back to the sticks. Yeah, my mama was a white trash chick, and now I'm hitting licks and soaking that bliss. The streets made me, but I was born in the sticks, my baby sticks. Yeah, my mama just a white trash chick. Daddy raised a rebel, please don't.
What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that record right there? What y'all think? What y'all think? What y'all get at? 5 mics? 2 mics? 1 mic? Uncle Hotep crush out here. Was that even rap? What was that? Was that like country rap? Big Ron B said no comment. Goldstein said this shit is garbage, but I'm not mad at it. He said she needs to drop 75 pounds, get in the kitchen and bake something while she's singing. Protocol said unplug the mic. Said he works at the food stop at my gas station. Oh my God. Rumble's not liking it. What's YouTube say? YouTube says it's a no. Cringe, but to each is their own. I'm telling you, Unc got EBS, Elon Buck syndrome. He ain't been the same since Elon started paying content creators. I don't know if we ever gonna get Unc back, man. We might have lost him till next election. Mark Lamont Hill, the shill. He says Elon Musk's attack on the ADL is dangerous, dishonest, and deeply anti-Semitic. He has turned this platform into an unprofitable white supremacist cesspool. Instead of taking accountability, he has chosen to not so subtly scapegoat Jews, which invites violence from his Nazi base. Oh my God. Who is he working for? Who does Mark Lamont Hill work for right now? BET News? DeGrio? Everybody knows what this is. Everybody knows it's obvious what this is. This is called virtue signaling. You know, how many times can I mention anti-Semitic and Nazis and white supremacists? How many buzzwords can I fit in a 4-line tweet? That's basically what this is. To bring me back in the great graces after I was, because, you know, Mark Lamont Hill was labeled anti-Semitic, you know, based upon his approach to the Palestine-Israel conflict. So I guess he's trying to come back and saving graces of his people. But let's take a look at this black woman who got hit with a brick. Then we're going to do the CBDC update. Where are my videos of this woman, by the way? Are they in here? I know the producers got them. Well, let's go to this video. I know this video is pretty thorough. Let's take a look.
Also was there when the girl got hit by the brick for not giving her number up. I think he's a Somalia guy who's, you know, from the same neighborhood or whatever, because he said everybody in that community knows that says that she's a troublemaker, and he even said if it happened again, he would not do nothing again. So check it out. Tell me what y'all think.
I was one of the guys who was there that did not help her when she was getting hit with the brick, right? I feel like people need to know the whole story before they start commenting and say things they don't understand or they don't know. You guys don't even remember who you guys are trying to defend, who you guys are trying to speak up for. This is the same woman that was going around smacking white people in the streets. She's not innocent. She was actually taunting the guy to hit her. Why would I go defend somebody that's actually looking for trouble? This woman, she is literally a troublemaker. Everybody that knows her in our community knows she's a troublemaker. I'm not going to risk my life over somebody that's actually out there looking for trouble. If you go on social media, online, you're going to see some of her antic videos, taunting people, looking for a reaction. Well, she got what she been looking for, and you guys are giving her the attention that she was actually seeking for. I don't regret not standing up for her. If you look at some of the videos, I was there. I don't regret nothing whatsoever. I don't regret standing up for her. I'm not saying she deserved it. I'm not saying that any man have a right to hit a woman, especially with a brick. Nobody deserves that. By the end of the day, there's more to the story. She's not as innocent as she's trying to portray herself to be. She wants attention. She's an attention-seeker woman. She's trying to go viral, and you guys have given her what she wanted. Yes, she did get hit by a brick. Yes, I saw it. Yes, I was standing by doing nothing. And if that shit happened again in the same circumstances, I will watch. Because she's not as innocent as she portrays herself to be. She was taunting the guy. She was calling him all type of names. She was degrading him to a point where he resulted in picking up a brick and hitting him. I don't condone that type of behavior, but once again, she's not as innocent as she portrays herself to be. I literally, I remember a while back, she's posting videos going around in public, literally smacking old white people in the face. For what? And now you get hit by a brick, and now you want to cry wolf? And I don't care. You wanted trouble, you got trouble. That's why I'll still buy and watch. So don't, oh man, that whole situation got me upset.
All right, let me pull up these other videos. We got a bunch of videos in regards to this, and then we'll get to the CBDC update. So we got this video. It's just that Elon's platform for messaging just leaves a lot to be desired, which makes my job a lot harder when we collect these videos in the chat. Because he's doing everything but making the app better. I really wish Elon would just focus on, if he just worked on the chat, that would be a huge upgrade for him. Wait, did I pass it? See, it jumps and shit. Like, the app is just, I mean, it always left a lot to be desired. Okay, so here's the other video, and I want to say that's the last one. Yeah, that's the last one. All right, let's pull this one up. So let's take a look here. I think there's another one under here. Yeah, correct. Let's play these. So I'm going to play this one first. Copy, paste, and go. Let's take a look.
Black woman is kissing another black woman because we are the innate protectors and the providers. We protect societies, we protect communities with our intellectual property, with our lived experiences, with our breast milk, with our bodies. We're the ones. And the two. Bitch, not even the three. Because men are not providers and protectors, not innately, because they only protect what they possess. But we protect everybody, and we provide, baby, okay? So I hope you catch a girl tonight, because I hope I do. And don't forget, before there was feminism, it was lesbians who were living those lives without worried about niggas. Like, they were not worried about niggas. They were decentering men. So before there was feminism, there were lesbians. Hey, excuse me, thank you.
Attention seeker. Definitely an attention seeker. Now here's the other video I wanted to show you. This is the bullshit right here.
And soul. But I'm really talking to like cis women because like it's giving y'all real jealous. Like y'all real jealous because they can, will, and have pulled your ninja. All the trans girls ever did was teach y'all how to wear makeup, because yes, the makeup you wear today is trans makeup. They teach y'all how to do y'all hair. They got y'all hair together. And like, what do y'all think those BBL bodies are? Because them legs, hips, and body, y'all got that from the trans girls.
So we're to believe that women got their new style of makeup from trans women. And my only question is, what would the trans woman look like without the makeup? It would look like a nigga.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
It would look like a man. It would look like a man. So they didn't develop this stuff to be pretty. They developed this stuff to hide their identity, to become a woman. Then they said hips and all of this stuff. Hips are a woman thing. That's a woman thing. So the women went to trans people to be a woman? This makes no sense.
Let's keep it real. Now, I'm not talking about a girl with a big ass, because, you know, shout out to Somalia, shout out to Nigeria, shout out to Africa. Whoop, the whole black diaspora. We've been had big butts, small backs. But I'm talking about this whole 20-inch waist, titties that sit right here, big butt, all of that. That body, I haven't seen it that much, but trans women have always had it, and now y'all running to the doctor to go get it. Y'all love the trans girls. They taught y'all how to sissy y'all fucking walk when y'all were out here walking like dinosaurs. They taught y'all how to put on y'all makeup. They got y'all asses together. And what is y'all real problem? Can y'all not compete? Y'all out here talking about trans girls want to be y'all when y'all got the whole aesthetic of a trans girls. Let me find out that y'all want to be trans girls like the gag is. Y'all want to be them.
Women want to be trans girls. Meanwhile, it's the trans people that got to chop their dicks off to look like a woman. Oh my fucking God. So this woman, let's see if we can go to the video where she got hit with a brick. Let's pull that up. Let's pull this up. Hold on. So we got that video. I played that one. I played that one. Okay, let's go here. Actually, let's show you this one. Let's show you this one so we can show you how she be acting. Look at this. Look at this.
You're a white man and I'm a black. This is for the fact that you're a white man and I'm a black woman. I have less privilege than you. Thank you.
Oh, I feel bad. We're all God's children.
All right. All right. You see that? Okay. So she going around smacking white people, you know, trying to feel all powerful and shit. And then let's go to this video, the aftermath of it all. This looks like she fought Tommy Hearns out this motherfucker.
In my life to deserve this. What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?
We just showed you what you did. You was talking shit. You was on the internet talking shit about people. And now you crying 5 seconds into this video here about what you do to deserve it after you went around and smack people. There's another video out there smacking another white man.
I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick.
So she's saying all that happened was a dude asked for a number, she said no, and he picked up a brick and hit her. When I first saw that, I'm like, I don't think that went down like that. Like, I get it. Like weird shit does happen to women. But I'm like, nah, it's got to be more to the story than this. And then when we saw these other videos come out, I'm like, oh, okay, she was probably antagonized this guy. And then we saw the testimony from the guy right there who said she actually did antagonize the guy. Not saying it's okay to hit people with bricks. It's not, but FAFO.
In front of so many men, it was like, what you gonna do? And I told all these men, like, yo, why this man got a brick on my face? And he's holding a brick. And all these niggas is watching. And nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face and they all just watch. And they let that nigga get in the car. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women? Have I ever?
Meanwhile, she said women protect women. So where was the women to protect your ass then? Where was they at? Ladies and gentlemen, it goes to show you, man, God don't like ugly. Be a good person. Be a good person. You don't have to worry about shit like this. Because people don't live their life as a good person. You know, some people believe in karma, some people don't. I just believe God don't like ugly, you know, and when you wild out like that, well, guess what? Shit happens. You know, you bring shit like that on yourself, acting like that. The type of venom you bring to the community, it's going to catch up to you at some point. All right, we're going to the CBDC update. I need you guys to hit the like button. YouTube, your goal is 150 likes. How does she know what gender hit her and what they identify as? Sounds transphobic to me.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Talk to him, Jabari. None of this shit makes sense. Who's to say it was not even a brick and not a good fist? R.I.P. Kevin Samuels in the chat. I see y'all. Jay's World said, I'm going to pray for she, her. Not the pronouns. I don't like her voice either. Yeah, her voice is really, really annoying. Really, really annoying. Will it change her, though? No, I think this is exactly what she needed to really invigorate her desire to be a viral champ. So I think this is just the beginning. All right, let's go into the big brain content. As you know, your daily CBDC update. Enough with the shenanigans and the ratchetness. Take your master focus. It's time to focus. All right, CBDC update. What do we got here? Reserve Bank of India. Where is it? Where's the line here? Is it this article? No, it's definitely this article. I'm looking for. Rolling crossbit. Oh, no. This one is just. Okay, so Reserve Bank of India governor basically says that what we've been saying all along, that CBDCs are going to be more efficient for the central banks. And he's concerned with cross-border payments being made efficient. Of course, he says faster, cheaper, and more secure. So the key thing to pay attention to here in CBDC land, when we're talking about a one world coin, you have to pay attention to UPI, Unified Payments Interface, which is used for interoperability, so that banks can communicate with other banks and handle settlements. So that's the big thing here. It's a priority with the G20. And then there's a global summit on the 15th, September 15th. There's a stablecoin summit in Singapore coming soon too. All right, let's go to the next one here. Let me make sure you can see this on your screen. So this one, it says here, China insists digital yuan be usable everywhere, targets wholesale CBD for security. So the key in this one is, again, coming back to the world being bifurcated, right? Where there's going to be a BRICS coin, and then there's going to be a Western coin with United States USDC, United States digital coin, which is a working term right now, being for the Western world. But the wholesale CBDC is, as you can see here, it says Chinese wholesale CBDC. So the wholesale CBDC is going to deal with financial institutions, and that's really what they want to focus on first. And then microtransactions is actually a secondary priority. So basically they're dealing with institutional, and then later on they'll go to retail. But the priority for them right now is institutional money, banks, other central banks. But really, I believe the first priority is going to be central bank to central bank. So Chinese central bank to Brazil's central bank to Russia's central bank to India's central bank, and that interoperability between the UPI, right? So this is what he says. This is from the Chinese central bank. And he says is what needs to be upgraded is the payment tools used in retail scenarios. That is, use digital renminbi as a payment tool in all retail scenarios. He outlined interoperability and standard QR codes. We covered that last week. And he said in the long term, we will steadily upgrade payment tools, although he did not elaborate in what way. However, he said the business models will not change, but payments will become cheaper. He turned his attention to potential Chinese wholesale CBD. Basically what it says here, it says large value payments are not necessarily a wholesale payment. Micro payments are not necessarily retail payments. So again, the wholesale CBDC is going to be dealing with interbank payment systems, right? So this is bank to bank. And this is how you're going to have this cooperation. Right now it happens through different clearinghouses, and Swift payment networks, and so that's the Chinese update, which again illustrates how they're thinking about the CBDC. I don't know why I pulled this PDF. Oh, this is a PDF on the UK. This is a recent report from UK Finance in regards to the RLN technology. And I told you guys about the RLN technology several months ago, purported by SETL is the name of the company pushing that. Let's see. All right, the purpose. Let's see what their purpose is. Okay, so basically to explore the viability of the tech. Okay. All right, what else is in here? I never got a chance to look at this. Scope of discovery phase, RLN concept, initial objectives. Okay, what are the initial objectives? Programmable payments, yeah. Tokenization of assets and liabilities, yeah. Okay, so okay, here we go. Promoting broader mutual collaboration more broadly, design a unified approach to the future of regulated money. So you have unregulated money, and this is regulated money in the UK, where all pounds are sufficiently smart and interoperable. So again, when you say smart, this is programmable money, and interoperable means can communicate with from bank to bank, right? There could be advantages of public-private cooperation. So it said there could be advantages of public cooperation to develop new multi-asset settlement infrastructures that provide true innovation for the UK market. Okay, cool. So I'll dive into that more deeply. Let's go to this one right here. So there's an article here from the financial institution RBC. They are a wealth management company. Let me make sure you guys see this on the screen. Good, you can see that well. And it says here, as more governors begin exploring CBDCs, the Bank of International Settlement says 93% of central banks are pursuing a CBDC. All right. It says the U.S. in particular needs to be especially cautious when developing a CBDC, given the dollar's status as the global reserve currency. Yes, correct. And when they say global, they're not, I mean, technically, I guess it is global, but really we're talking about is Westernism, because BRICS is about to do their own thing. And they say, we think having a single point of failure for dollar payments in a world that uses the greenback for all manner of trade is, in a nutshell, a terrible idea. Now, that's the thing. Because of this network here, this RLN network, the way this RLN networks is they have a distributed way of, or it's sort of decentralized, but they have these, as you can see here on the screen with this thing, they have different silos where the transactions could be processed out of. Actually, it's in this article right here. And you go, this is the white paper, this official white paper. Let's go here, and it'll bring us to white. I actually have a copy of this already, but that's fine. Let's open that up. Let's open this up, and I'll show you in here how the network works. And here, this is how the network works. This is one of the network maps. This talks about the infrastructure. So right here, they're called partitions, and then they have like partition managers. And this is the problem with when people talk about shit that they don't know. Like when they talk about things that they don't know about, it gives governments loopholes, right? So where he says here, it has a single point of failure. It's not really a single point of failure. It's not really a single point of failure because of the partitions and the different partition operators. It's a lot of the settlement is handled within different silos. So there isn't one point of failure, which is a terrible argument against the CBDC, if I am reading this correctly. But he does make a good point. He says, in one move, we think the U.S. would create an unparalleled target for hackers and thieves, not to mention terrorists or geopolitical rivals. Now, notice I'm not paying attention to hackers and thieves because that's what they use to scare us into legislating some of this stuff. And I'm not scared of terrorists, but geopolitical rivals is really what they're talking about here. And that's talking about BRICS and how the BRICS could topple the U.S. dollar. But the fact that CBDC is programmable money, we actually don't have to worry about that. Here later on, Mark Young, risk officer and data advisor at Consensus, says the onus is on us to design what we want and design something that demonstrates democracy. You guys know how I feel about the word democracy. I'm not exactly sure what he means by that because I don't know how democracy would work in this case. It's really like mob rule, so I don't know. And again, like when people say democracy, they don't even really mean democracy. They just mean like freedom, right? They mean laissez-faire. They mean free market capitalism. And then they just interchange with democracy. And it's just like, that's just not what democracy means. It says, in terms of what to expect in the U.S., Badia predicts the Fed will opt for an incremental approach to implementing the CBDC. And that makes sense. I think they're going to start at the wholesale level like we just saw happening in China. And then they'll probably put the onus on private corporations and institutional banks to just like if you were to connect to Twitter, you would use their API and then they'll give you the API documentation, and your programmers will learn how to connect to the API through their API documentation to see what type of programming language they're using, and how to pull data and all types of communication. I don't want to get too technical. Mostly because I'm not a programmer, so I'm gonna sound like an idiot when I talk about it. But I do understand what's happening there. And so I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna tell the private sector, institutional banks, hey, here's how the CBDC works. Here's how you communicate with our CBDC. Tell your programmers, figure this shit out so you can start making payments. And also, we're not sending you any money until you do so, right? So, and I think JPM will probably be in that conversation. So this is guidance here or comments here from RBC, Badia, and how he feels about the CBDC. But he's a wealth manager, so he knows money, which means he probably doesn't know tech. And so his arguments against this, big tech wise, I think the USDC, the US CBDC will be resilient to cyber attacks, right? It's going to be highly resistant to cyber attacks. However, it won't be resistant to internal cyber attacks, if they're even cyber attacks. Oops, I pressed the wrong button type shit, which again lends credence to what this guy said about a single point of failure. Yeah. Now that sort of makes sense, not from a technical point of view, but from is it political, or I would say administrative point of view. So yeah, that's that. Last one here, and then we'll take phone calls. If you want to get on the phone calls, text 202-596-5631. With Hotep in your name, text 202-596-5631. With Hotep in your name, we'll get you on the phone lines here. And so this article here says UK Remember, it says right here, RLN, right? We talked about the RLN, Regulated Liability Network. I pulled that white paper out for you. It's all right here. I did a whole presentation on this, and I had a crypto expert call in and go through this with me somewhere in my channel. I think if you type in Regulated Liability Network, it'll pop up. So he says, see right here, UK Regulated Liability Network to experiment with digital pound as tokenized deposits. Now, before, the RLN network was running pilots using like fabricated, just basically test coins, and now they're actually going to use the British pound. And it says the Bank of England has said it is more than 50% likely that there will be a decision to launch a retail central bank digital currency. Now, this is a very loaded statement here. I don't know how to read it because it says more than 50% likely that there will be a decision. No, that's basically what it's saying. It's saying there's a good chance that they're going to have a CBDC. I didn't read that incorrectly. I thought I did. No, I read that correctly. So, UK, place where you can't carry a spoon in your pocket because it might be deemed a weapon. CBDC coming in, and they'll get it first. They'll probably, I think the UK is definitely going to have a operational CBDC way before us. Our interpretation is with commercial bank money lacking programmability, right? So like I told you, this is programmable money. CBDC might prove attractive for corporates and consumers. Additionally, UK finances previously pushed back on the high holding limits. So basically what they're saying is there are holding limits, right? And the UK is like, oh, that limit is just way too high. So this being programmable money is going to have limits, just like you have limits at the ATM on how much money you can take out and how much money you can spend in a day, right? Like I think Hotep Nation's daily limit is 10K. So being programmable money, they'll be able to, enforce these limits much easier because it's programmable money. All right, let's continue. Tokenized deposits for cross-border security settlements. So out of 3 UK regulated liability network use cases, wholesale cross-border payments came last regarding feasibility. Now, what did China just say? China said they're looking at wholesale CBDC. UK RLN network use cases said wholesale, specifically cross-border payments, came last regarding feasibility. They're saying it's not feasible. It says the RLN participants recognize the potential benefits of improved speed and cost, 24/7 availability, and reduced risk. However, cross-border payments are seen as more complex. Why? Because of the need to involve overseas regulators. The law, politicians, policy, regulation. So, again, this is the New World Order coin, right? Because now you're going to need to have cooperation as far as regulation. Why would you need that? Why would you need to change the regulation? Well, because the regulation currently does not discuss the limitlessness of programmable money. Because you can program this money to do anything. You can program anything, right? For example, let's say you want to sell a car, right? And a guy's making payments, right? Okay, you can own the car, but the title will not be issued to you until that last payment is made. And once it's paid, we don't have to depend on a third party. The money's programmed to release the title to you. Same thing can happen with the house. It's programmed to release to you. You can program this money to do many different things. What they're talking about is regulation. They're talking about laws. They're talking about regulation. So that means they're going to need some cooperation of global governments over the one world, New World Order coin. That's the thing that's holding us up. It's not technology holding up cross-border payments. It's regulation. And that's why China's not really having too many issues with their wholesale, because that's all within China. So let's look at who's playing here, right? It says, keep in mind the reparations people, these are names that the reparations people never talk about. And when I talk about reparations, I always tell people, like, you're going after the wrong people for reparations. We got Confessions from Barclays, and I believe Lloyd's Bank of England. they also have apologized for their role in slavery. So I'm like, yo, if these people have apologized, and insurance companies like AIG, like if you really wanted reparations, you should just take them to court because they already got confessions and they have fucking a bag of money. Like they're the banks. So why wouldn't you go to the banks for the money? I mean, the banks are the ones that facilitated the slave trade. Let's just call a spade a spade. You know, everybody wants to be mad about the little bit of slave trade that happened in America, you know, at the auction block. But who facilitated the entire industry from a global level? It was Barclays, Lloyds, AIG, insurance companies, smuggling companies, all types of different people, Dutch East Indian Company, Dutch West Indian Company, all these different companies. Anyway, sorry for the segue. A point not mentioned in the report is that the last three of the RLN participants, Barclays, Lloyds, and Santander, are all involved in FNality. That's a UK-based infrastructure targeting token-based wholesale cross-border payments using a different model to RLN. So if RLN pursues the same use case, there would be quite a bit of duplication of purpose. But those participating in both projects have also a front row seat to regulatory struggles. So who's going to know about regulation before anybody? Barclays, Lloyds, and Santander. So again, I'll be keeping an eye on all this shit to see, you know, what the fuck's going on, who's making decisions, what the regulations look like. And I'm probably going to have a big presentation once I see something regulation wise come down the pike. I'll do a big presentation on that. So UK is getting a CBDC probably faster than America. America's pilot isn't ready until next June, July. So I think they'll have one first. And with that being said, let's go to the phone lines. I want to hear from the callers about everything in today's presentation. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631, 202-596-5631, and I'll be right with you right after this short commercial break.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock? I have no clue. Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in.
How'd you get that done so quick? They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early? He's not tapped in.
We back. All right, Goldstein, you could call in. Wholesome White Woman, you could call in. And then who is this? Sister Otis, you could call in. Go ahead and get in on the phone lines. Hold on, let me make sure. Because sometimes it does some funky shit. Goldstein, what up, bro? How you feeling, man? What? Damn, dog got bit by a snake? Damn. Yeah. Okay. So how's the dog doing? Was it venomous? Oh, damn. Y'all got rattlesnakes back there? Damn. Yeah, I ain't coming out there. I ain't fucking with y'all. You gonna have to mail me my pet. Big facts, big facts. What do you think about today's show, man?
is out of control. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit, I had you muted. All right, you back now. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Y'all can hear him now? Okay, good. My bad. Yeah, he said dog got bit by a snake and he took him out and the dog is good. It got bit by a rattlesnake. So yeah. My bad, y'all. I didn't unmute him. All right, you good now.
Now, I was saying Brick Bitch is out of control, though.
Isn't she?
Yeah, man, listen. I know the type, and I'm not saying that motherfuckers should be hit by bricks.
Right.
But I can see why someone like her is hit by a brick.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I know whoever did it had that bitch looking like Martin after he boxed Tommy Hearns. It was out of control.
That's exactly what she looked like.
No, I don't know, man. Listen, it could have been a lot worse for her motherfucking ass, but as far as the whole men should have did some shit, that dude had it right. If you're a fucking troublemaker, ain't nobody should be looking out for your ass. You get what you deserve. I think that in some instances they looked out for her by allowing her ass to get clubbed the way she did, because that might set her straight. Who knows? But then we got what's his name? Mark Lamont Hill. I find it interesting that Mark Lamont Hill never gets on his he never gets on his soapbox talking about videos that facilitate violence against the black community.
Oh, he needs that. That's
like he'll say shit when violence actually happens, but he doesn't seem to be very preemptive in the way that he was with this shit, talking about speech that could potentially, or videos that could potentially facilitate violence against the black community. It's really only one community that gets that type of run.
What do you mean?
Like, you rarely ever see the type of preemptive fucking, hey, this could potentially hurt these people rhetoric when it comes to any other community. I rarely ever see it. I always see what happens, like, in the aftermath of when that community's hurt already.
Oh, I see what you're saying. There's no preemptive.
I never
That's
see
because none of the other
preemptive.
communities have any organizations. Name one white organization.
Well, shit, there was one in Florida, allegedly. Maybe they should run with that one.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's all they got. That's the best they could do. Black people do not have organization. White people do not have organization. The only people that have the power to do what you're talking about is people who have organizations.
Yeah. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm not gonna knock it. That's a good thing. What I have a problem with that community is that they prevent other motherfuckers from getting that type of power. And in those instances, there should be a light shined on that to say, hey, it's one thing to let everybody play in the game. It's a whole other thing to just box everybody's asses out and then utilize your power as somewhat of a fucking bludgeoning tool for all those other communities. That's the only problem I really.
So what that entails is competition, right?
Right.
And since the beginning of history, competition has never been liked. People have always said, this empire is rising. We need to squash it before they take over. So to me, it seems more like a protection of power.
Most definitely.
Which is part of the game.
It most certainly is.
Here's my question. Do you think it would be different if it was with any other race or group?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. It would. But here's the thing that people have to realize is when you play that game,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's going to knock you for playing that game. That's the game that has been played since the beginning of man. But when you play that game, there is also, should be on your end, an expectation that when people get sick of you playing that game, then they take your power.
Yes.
And you should be smart enough to not play the game to those ends.
Right.
But once you go crazy, and you do, don't be mad when motherfuckers get to snatching shit from you.
Well, you got to be mad. That's
well,
competition.
You can be mad, but you also gotta realize that that's part of the game too.
But I think they know this. I think they know this, and that's why they have all these preemptive things in place.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
Like for example, when we look at somebody in the chat mentioned the NAACP, right? And I'm like, the NAACP ain't a black organization.
No,
right?
That's their shit.
Hold on, I'm gonna correct. Correct, exactly. Come look. Boom, we go right here. Look at the founders. So what they like to do is they like to put the front runners, right? So they'll put W.E.B. Du Bois, who was white passing, and Ida B. Wells, right? So then you go down the line with the rest of the founding fathers, and you get light-skinned Negroes, because this was a big thing back then. To be light-skinned was a big thing. It still is, kind of. But then you get the Henry Moskowitz, you get the William English Whalen, you get Charles Edward Russell, Oswald. Who are these white people? This is not a black. If you've got more white people on your founding fathers board by like 8-fold, it's not a black organization.
Yeah, that's a serious problem right there.
It's not a black organization, you know.
Kind of like
it's just not.
It's kind of like what you're seeing with these white organizations. Like
correct.
They're on it. Like most everybody believes that a lot of these white organizations are Fed based. A lot of that is true.
Yes.
So at least motherfuckers are paying attention nowadays. You can't sneak into the hen house as easy as you could back in the 30s and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like if you really look at the state of Black America today, I don't ever really see a consolidation of individuals that can procure the type of power necessary to function on that level.
I don't even think it happens like that. I think it's a mathematical equation. I think all this shit is a numbers game, man. And I think a lot of the numbers game has to do with population. Right? And I think that when a group reaches a certain population size, it is optimal. It is optimal for them to operate. And I think when you're too small, you get crushed. And when you're too big, you can't control it. And I think that's black people's problem, right? So then that would make me in line with eugenics, right? But eugenics is trying to eliminate us to the point of 0, right? Or to the point where you can be squashed. I'm looking at it from what's the optimal number to gain power. You know what I'm saying? It's a different way to look at eugenics, and I'm not saying kill people. What I'm saying is at some point, numbers will dwindle based upon these races, and that is really going to dictate a lot of this. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of co-breeding. You're seeing a lot of people co-breed with black people because they understand our relationship with the sun. Because, you know, in the book, they call us the sun people. You know what I mean? So I think that's a way that they're preserving themselves long term by intermixing. Like, give me some of that melanin, you know? Let me get some of that carbon. Let me get some of that. What is it? I think it's selenium. I think selenium is the key ingredient. I think This was at Tanah. We was talking about this at Hotep Con. It's selenium is the element. So anyway, you know,
hey, speaking of selenium, I think Unc might need a bit of selenium in his posts.
he needs some. He done lost it. You know what I'm saying? The algorithm changed. You seen what I did. I went straight intellectual.
Yes.
I went more intellectual. Algorithm going this way? All right, no doubt. I'll go higher. This nigga goes lower. He goes lower. Why? It's good getting this good. I want to see this nigga check. I know what he doing. When he cash that check, he gonna be talking big shit. Cause Unc ain't no fool. You know what I mean? And when he grift for that check, he going for that check. So we gonna see what that check look like next month. And he probably we gonna see. But I know that's his plan. Like I know what he doing. He planning. So when he post that screenshot of that check, he'll be like, I told you, Shines, you broke now. Ha ha. And he gonna go out and take his family out to eat at some restaurant we can't afford.
Put more meat in his
Put more meat in his mouth. Pause. I know what's happening.
Oh my goodness. Come back. Listen. It's not worth it. Not all money is good money, Unc. You can't go around broadcasting fucking, what are they calling her? Kentucky Adele?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not mad at her like I said in the chat. I'm not mad at her for doing it. I just think the shit sucks. Right? It's not like Tom McDonald. Like, his shit sucks, and I'm mad at that. That's just out of line. Her shit is at least speaking to people that I know. I know motherfuckers that's rocking like that. It's got a cultural fabric to it, I suppose, but it's just garbage. If they could find a better front woman for that movement, then they might actually make some headway. But yeah, that is not it. Not only does it suck, but come the fuck on, man. It's too close. Your infractions are too close. You got this bitch. You got the meat in the mouth, pause. You got the apple busting all in your shit. That's crazy, pause. Too many infractions too close together. You got to spread this shit out. You got to spread that shit out. Look, they're gonna fall. They're gonna be on to you soon, right? The algorithm, the Elon Buck people, they're gonna be on to you. They're gonna be like, this nigga just grifted. He trying to get us. Kick you off the app. They're gonna kick you off the app. Like Elon already said, if you're trying to game the system, they're gonna banish your ass. Yeah, and
well, I think they could just limit his ads, because all he has to do is just say limit ads or reduce the. I could say reduce the number of impressions. I could say for this account, cap this account at 1,000 impressions on an ad, so you will always make the same spend no matter how many hits you do.
Right. that might be what we need to get up back in line. You know. This goes back to that whole power thing. He's got too much. You know, he's procured too much, and it's gone straight to his head. And I don't know, man. We'll pray for him, though.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, I know what he's up to. He's blitzing for the check. We're gonna see soon. It should be. I think when did they give out the checks last month? I forget when they gave out checks last month, but the next check is probably due in like a week or two. So we gonna see when he posts that screenshot. Remember, I told y'all what's coming. My third eye is way open.
All right, bro. I'm gonna let you get back to it, man.
All right, man. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Rap hasn't had Steph Colonel says Unc hasn't had a viral post in a few years. Neither have I, to be honest with you. Algorithm fucked us up. Hotep Nation looking like the NAACP. Damn, Stuart, you got me. But we're not a black organization.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Gotcha. We're not a black organization. We are not a black organization. We're not. You know, our team might look like the NAACP, but our founding fathers are all black men. It's me, Doe, and Mike. Our founding team is all black men. So even us we got more black men than the NAACP.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
But we're not a black organization. That shit is corny. I don't do black shit. I can't do black shit. I am black. If you like me and you black, I fucks with you. But I'm on a whole, I'm fucking Neo in the Matrix. Like the shit I'm on, I can't even tell y'all. There's no, English doesn't have a word for what we doing out here. There is no English word that could tell you about the power of the ancestors. Because when the left grabbed the term Hotep and try to throw it in the mud and step on it and piss on it, we came around and was like, nah, back up, nigga, and grabbed the word. So now you done pissed off the mummies of ancient Kemet. And who they gonna put their power behind? The niggas that rescued their term in the present time. You've awakened the ancestors. I can't tell you what I'm doing. All I know is the ancestors said, yo, the shit we doing is bigger than being black and white. That's all I know the ancestors told me. The shit we doing is bigger than black and white. I'm just telling you what ancestors told me. This ain't a race thing. This ain't a race thing. And like I said, I intellectualize this because I believe the race problem is a mathematical equation. I think that's something that happens when a certain population reaches a certain point, and then they are able to mobilize and create power, secure their networks. Yeah. But where the world's going though, the world's going some weird shit, man. The world is really going to some really weird place when we factor in cybernetics and, you know, Charleston White gonna have one of them eyes that zoom in and shit. Like he gonna have an apple eye and shit. You know, the way the world is going, it's do you guys know about game theory? You guys know about game theory? We should probably, I got time today. All right. So game theory starts from, game theory, you got to, in order to understand game theory, you got to study, what's his name? Hold on, I'm going to find his name now. I'm going to show it to you. It's like an experiment. It's got the 4 quadrants. Prisoner's Dilemma. Here it go. Found it. Told you I found it. Let's see. What do they have here? All right, let's do it. I'm about to put this on the screen. Jules, call in, yo. I need my recharge from Jules. So let's put this here. Let's go here. Whoops. Uh-huh. All right, boom. Prisoner's Dilemma. So this is game theory. Game theory runs off of the Prisoner's Dilemma. And just to fast forward a bit here. So, scenario A, or scenario 1, if A and B both remain silent, they will serve 1 year in prison, right? So a crime has been had, and they have opportunities to snitch, right? 2, if A testifies against B, but B remains silent, A will be set free while B serves 3 years in prison. Okay? If A remains silent, but B testifies against A will serve 3 years in prison and B will be set free. If A and B testify against each other, they will serve 2 years. Now, if you don't know what the other person is doing, what are you going to do? Most likely you try to go for the 2 years, right? So, is it Kant Which one of these guys is it? It's not Merrill Dressner. No, who is this? Albert Tucker formalized it. No, there's somebody that did something with this and made a quadrant. Here we go. This is the quadrant right here. But who's the dude? Nash. Here we go. Nash's Equilibrium. Thank you. Found it. All right. Nash's Equilibrium. This the shit you got to study right here to understand game theory.
Call from Rue Scheffner.
Jules, what up, yo?
What's good, Hotep?
What up, baby? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling better, man. I heard the show and got charged up.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. We getting better, you know?
Nah, man, you just striving for excellence, bro.
Gotcha.
That's all it is.
Gotcha.
That's all it is, man. You putting in that damn real work now. You talking about January 6th and the CBDC coins. Bro, hey, Hotep, you ready for this?
Hey, listen. There are boundaries with what you can say, and I'm well within the safety boundary, but I'm also in like that yellow area. Like there's green, right? Here's everything you can say that's green. Then there's this yellow area. Then there's this red area. I'm like right on the edge of the yellow and red, but most times I'm right in the yellow. But I know how to hit that just a little bit of orange. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you in the right spectrum. Hey, because I'm listening now, and I've been sitting back in the sidelines listening, like, okay, Hotep, you about to step on some toes here, host. Especially that, hey, look, man, I was delivering papers for the Washington Post around that time, January 6th. So I was already on my I Am Legend shit, how they had D.C. shut down.
Oh, damn.
So I kept riding by the monument and all them type of stuff. I kept looking over there by the White House. I was like, damn, are they about to put a LARPing event together? I mean, this is a couple of weeks beforehand now. Then when you really look at the first-hand account videos that they were showing, it looks awfully strange that people with these cell phones, but you don't know the accounts that these people was filming from other than the guy you just exposed. And like you say, they get arrested and he's free. Like, one of the biggest psyops operations I ever seen in my current history to bear witness to how these people leave D.C. And if you go to D.C., it ain't easy just to escape from a Capitol building. And if you from Utah, Idaho, Nebraska, all these random places these people were from, man, you just not going to have an Uber waiting outside like it's all peachy, especially when it's chaos. So how do these people leave so easily? With all this surveillance we have in D.C. Now, I just left this week prior to with my daughter, come back. And I'm seeing all these new buildings, they rebuilding again, demolishing. And it looked like an awful lot of C-40 coming along D.C. They redid the whole interstate during the pandemic. So it's going to be one of them segregated cities, kind of like how you seen them doing with Maui. So, Hotep, you're going to have people look in the lens of Dick Gregory just trying to see the obvious. Like, just ask the simple questions. And it don't add up when you really look at the simplicity of it all.
Yeah. I had an argument with somebody last night on Twitter, mostly because the algorithm likes it, right? The algorithm says you have to reply to people. And I was just talking about, basic banking and how it works. And these guys are so, like, indoctrinated that they don't even see the regular play that's being played. And I'm like, bro, like you don't know that they're just fucking moving the debt to the taxpayer. Like, you literally say, like I'm gonna show you where people are stupid. Watch this. I'm gonna show you the guy's argument, and this is why you got to know money, right? I said inflation is the devaluation of the currency. When the Fed raises interest rates, they increase the tax on money, which devalues it further. But I'm sure Jerome Powell knows what he's doing, right? So, so this guy says with lower interest rate, money is cheaper, and more ends up in circulation. More money is what devalues the currency. Higher inflation. That is inherently false. That is inherently false. More money is what devalues a currency. That's not definitively true.
Yeah, because
you have to know, did the size of the economy grow? Because the money is supposed to follow the economy. So if the economy grows, the money got to grow.
The money should grow.
Okay. You see what I'm saying here? So if the money grows, that does not inherently devalue the currency. So he says higher inflation. No, what happens is the money supply and the economy size have never found an equilibrium because the Federal Reserve exists.
Damn, that's why you're the one, Hotep.
So what he's really trying to say here is created money by the Federal Reserve out of thin air for no particular reason because we just happen to have a pandemic. That's what devalues a currency. Then he says the Fed raises interest rates to do the opposite, lower inflation. Yes, that's what they say they do. And he said, and it quite obviously worked. Inflation has come down. Well, first of all, in order to factor in why did inflation come down, there are various factors you have to factor into that. Because inflation is based upon the CPI. And if Joe Biden opens up a bunch of fucking pipes and lowers gas may be the thing that increases the CPI. See, I'm not a fucking dummy, and these people think I'm a dummy.
Not.
You know what I'm saying?
Not,
so then
bro.
I said, Thomas Sowell has entered the chat. You were fails econ course with that response. And then this dude, now let me show you where they stupid. This is where you're so educated by Wall Street that you're the slave and you do work for them. Because he says, in theory, isn't it the other way around? Lowering interest rates involves creating money to buy treasuries. Raising them involves selling them back to remove from circulation. Yes, this is one of their tactics they pull. This is called a debt swap, right? And I'm gonna show you my next tweet in a second. But when you talk about treasuries, who's the treasury backed by? The treasury's backed by the government. Who's the government? Us, the fucking taxpayer. So what he's saying is we're gonna move the debt from the fucking private sector and move it to the public sector, right? So then look, I said right here, I said that's the public sector, and don't get me started on that debt swap and scam. I said we're concerned with the private sector where the banks pass the expense onto the consumer and charge higher interest rates on home and car loans. Notice the high interest rates on both this year.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? High. So like where are we at with this? Yes, like what they do is they say we're going to fight inflation this way. Then they move and they buy all these treasuries, but the treasury's backed by the taxpayer. So you just took my debt. You just took my debt from here and just moved it into another place. It's still fucking there. You can't make the money disappear.
See, Hotep, you got the ability to see the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain.
Exactly.
And they don't think you do because you come in with your bravado. You come in with the swag.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You come in like us with
yes,
street presence, but the essence of the ancestors all throughout you, bro. And that's what they can't see.
Facts.
So when you laying that vision out, they be down cross-eyed trying to intertwine what you saying for real, but not look stupid.
Right.
For their constituency. So they try to save face by having moot points.
Correct.
So man, that's why I look, bro. You made me get back on Twitter to keep up.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all I'm saying, bro, I know the divine got you because the stuff I sit back and hope you talk about, you eventually talk about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting back within the parallel universe, seeing how we can fold time to meet in the middle. Pause, whatever it might sound like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, your chat, the people who really tuned in to call in and give this insight to help basically divert, like get our minds out of the gutter and start putting it into a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
And that only comes with having dialogue like this is open.
Yeah.
Man, you ready for the smoke. So when you just have your number open for anybody to call the debate challenge, man, look, that's how I know you stay studying.
Yeah.
That's how I know you stay ready.
Yeah. I read two books a day. Not a whole book. I mean, I'm reading 2 books daily. I'm reading I'm doing my studies on Mao Zedong and what we're talking about now, finance.
Yep.
I'm fucking studying banking and treasuries and bonds. Like the shit we talk about is the shit I study, my nigga.
So at the end of the day with this central currency, you see how basically like in 2020, everybody really was using the digital currency by ordering like never before, putting their card online like never before, attaching. I saw people who never wanted to cash up all of a sudden got their debit card hooked up to their phone. So they've already made the the practice based off the commonality we already share.
Correct.
So who's gonna be the arcade that switch us up our tokens and then be the central provider? Like which bank, other than maybe like the J.P. Morgan concept, but who is gonna be the top shotter that exchanges our currency overnight?
Well, that would be the Fed. If it's not JPM, it's the Fed, but JPM is pretty much, runs the Fed. They're the ones that basically call financial policy because they're the experts, right? But it'll be the Fed. It will be the Fed, the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve got 12 branches, right? New York. I forget where the rest of them is. I think there's a Boston one. There's a New York one.
Charlotte.
Does Charlotte have one? Charlotte might have one,
Well, something into that degree with Charlotte, but
yeah.
Man, when I did an internship in 2006, man, it was UNC in Washington. They brought us to the Federal Reserve. And I said, man, there's way more security to get up in this building than it is back to the White House.
Yo,
what kind of shit
listen. Yes, the Fed. Shit.
So I sat at this table, dog. Like, when I tell you, like I say, 20 years of understanding, like, where the money gonna go? When I asked the people, when I saw people writing checks in the grocery store to versus a debit card, I saw that little small transition and asked me saying, well, hell, somebody can be behind a computer just typing up shit for somebody to hand them a card, and you would never know the wiser.
Correct. Absolutely.
So now we looking at it from, they done made it so simple to transition over to a digital currency and rename it a dime to a Solano or whatever. Like, they got the resources so sold up on the back end. So this transition gonna be wild. We gotta, I just say keep trying to figure out how to barter in a different way, more so because this electric grid gonna control the currency.
Yeah. But you nailed it though when you asked me right before you asked me a question. You basically said, they've already primed us with the digital usage of money, right? The different apps that we use, et cetera, et cetera. So we're already primed for it. And that's why when people start using it, they won't notice. Yes. The first notice, I believe it might be, is FedNow. FedNow is going to be the first app you'll see. Your bank will send you a notification. Hey, we need you to upgrade to this if you want to receive your benefits, right? Here's a free $500 when you open up your FedNow account.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They got to control the resources to stimulate you to just go ahead and be like, oh, they're going to give 500 worth of stakes
So
out.
let's talk about resources. The resources is me and yo ass. They don't have no resources. They are practicing a game of debt swapping. Now, debt swapping technically is not the same as what I'm saying, because debt swapping would mean, you give me this and I resolve the debt. Okay, the debt is resolved in an actual debt swap, but what they're doing is they're just moving debt. I should call it debt moving, because they just move the debt around and just pass it on until the government bails it out, buy some treasury bonds, and then or the Fed will buy treasury bonds, but then that is just offloaded to us paying the interest on those bonds. Back on the taxpayer.
Hey,
the banks never assumed the debt.
See, that's just that whole passing off to dead entities. And that's why when you talk about how to become our natural self again, you can awaken people to understand we've been operating in a dead entity for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the whole kick to this stuff, bro. You keep dropping knowledge, man.
I'm on it.
My little baby done woke up. I had to come and just tell you, man, I appreciate you again, man. It's hard to come in every day. But when I can, bro, just know, man, like you always inspiring, man. Like your content be 1,000, bro. So just keep doing what you're doing, my G.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Tell Grandma I said what's up, Hotep and Bill.
Hey, that's what he do. Peace.
Jules on the check-in. AK, call in. AK, Sister Otis, call in. Rudy. Oh, Rudy. I didn't even see Rudy. Rudy there. Oh, Rudy. Oh, he came in a few minutes after Goldstein. Okay. I was talking to Goldstein. Who this?
Call from Sister Otis.
Sister Otis, what's up, love?
Hotep Jesus.
What's
I
up,
love
baby?
it when you start preaching that Hotep.
Oh, I appreciate you, baby.
Oh man, when you start talking Hotep like that and the ancestors like that,
Oh.
that spirit rushes in. You can feel the power.
Woo.
Oh, this is a real Hotep brother. Yeah.
I know the feeling. Hey, I can't help it.
And that's why you're shadow banned, man, because you're preaching a message of unity. That makes you a dangerous man. Because you can organize people to all come together. And that's what they don't want.
Yeah.
Also, of course, Hotep, the name Hotep, Stephen Coakley was public enemy #1 in the 90s.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
And with the Hotep in your name right there, I think there's no doubt that you're shadow banned. I think that you and Uncle Hotep, I've always been surprised, like, why you guys aren't way huger on social media and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
And I totally see that. And then you're like the evolution of Hotep with the bringing people together. Because I remember my buddy had sent me over the interview with Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And that's when I first saw you and Uncle Hotep. I think that was the first time.
Okay.
I was like, oh shit, they're Hoteps. But you guys have talked so sweet and so nice about bringing people together. I just think you have such a beautiful message.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You were so welcome. Thank you. I love that because I always got into all the Hotep stuff, and Stephen Coakley was like what was his name? Before Alex Jones was Alex Jones, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. And William Cooper. He was
William Cooper.
During that he was during that same period of time, you know? So a lot of people were reading Stephen Coakley stuff. A lot of people were reading William Cooper's stuff at that period in time in history. And yeah, man, that I always enjoyed that. But listening to you and Uncle Hotep talk so sweet, just like I was really, oh cool, these are awesome Hoteps, you know? So that January 6th stuff, I know you like nerding out. So Millie Weaver did a whole somebody leaked a Zoom call from Antifa. It's Lisa Filton is one of the top leftist organizers in the country. She's the one who went all around all the different states and taught everybody how to protest. And there's a leaked Zoom call, and it's called Coup d'etat Election Night, Millie Weaver. Remember Millie Weaver from InfoWars? Yeah, so it's called Election Night Coup d'etat, and it's a Zoom call where they're discussing how to take over all the buildings in Washington, D.C.
I know they was there.
Oh, man. Well, and then that Jaden guy, I remember on January 6th, I just went and watched all the live footage while I could. And now they scrubbed that off of YouTube, so we can't go back and watch all the live footage for ourselves in hilarity. And but I just nerded out and got into all of that and watched all the live footage so I could judge for myself what was happening. And that Jaden X dude, John Sullivan, he was up in the front line. He got the cops first. He was telling the cops, hey, listen, you should just let these people go. It's not worth it, man. There's only 2 of you guys. You should see what they did to the police before we got here. And so he was the one who was talking to the police into standing down, and they did. But the one thing that Aiden does not capture, there is no, he was lying to the police when he said you should see what they did to the police before we got here. There's nothing on his videotape of people.
The police let him pass.
They let him pass right by.
They moved the gates.
He's up in the front. Say that again?
They moved the gates.
I still didn't hear that.
They moved the gates. I seen the footage.
They moved the gates. Right. And then if you watch the whole Jaden X thing, there are times when they're inside the Capitol and they get there and there's 2 police like guarding the rest of the way in. They're like, no, you guys can't come in.
Mm-hmm.
And the people are angry, but they're not pushing. They're not hitting these police. But Jaden is telling the police, hey, man, you should see what they did to the police before we got here. You should just let these people in. He talks all the police to standing down. He negotiates the whole thing. So they get up there where Ashley Babbitt is. He's filming all that. That's all, that they put everywhere was his film. But there's a guy that's right in the front there that takes a helmet and he starts bashing in the window. Do you remember seeing that dude? That guy is wearing 3 different hats at different points in time, and through the whole video, he's wearing a hard hat. He's got a Trump hat, and he's got like this wintry hat that covers his ears. He's the one bashing in the window. You can't really see Ashley Babbitt, but also you see the gun, and then all of a sudden, boom, she gets shot. Then you see her on the floor. That guy with the 3 different hats, he goes past Ashley Babbitt, starts coming down the stairs as the police are coming up. He goes around the corner and he changes outfits. He's got extra clothes in his backpack. He changes outfits. And so who's that guy? He's a major player in all that. Who is that guy?
I think he's op.
Yeah, you think? I mean, but the characters, and then how come our conservatives aren't pushing these points? Even the
you just hit on it. Even who?
What did I say?
I don't know who.
Our side or the conservatives, the people, the talking heads, right?
The talking heads.
Why aren't they nailing home these points? This Jaden, that's right.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
I do. Man, so yeah, that Millie Weaver thing, you're gonna really enjoy watching that. There's so much evidence right in everybody's faces. It's unbelievable. Anyway.
Hey, I appreciate you, Sister Otis.
I appreciate you too, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Hey, y'all, today's first day of school. I'm out of here, man. I'm about to catch y'all tomorrow. I went a little bit long on the CBDC. Save your comments. Call in tomorrow. Make sure you text the number early. Get on the list. But it's first day of school. Goldstein calling.
Call from.
What happened, man?
Real quick, go to check out Tucker Carlson's page.
Tucker's page?
Out. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. What happened?
Just check out that top one, his latest episode. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Who the hell is this? Hold on. Let me bring this up.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is that?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't as long.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Thank you, Goldstein. That was a very important reason for me to pick up that call. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, yo. It's officially grifting season. Yo. It is official. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Listen. Listen. Whoa. Somebody clip this. Somebody clip. I need somebody to clip this and post it. You just got a viral. You got a viral right now. Clip that with my reaction. The whole thing. Oh, my Lord. This is earth-shattering. I mean, we've seen this guy before, but the fact that Tucker went... Ghosty, I need you to clip this, yo. I need you to clip this. I need you to clip this. And start it off where you call in. I need you to clip this and post this. Bro. What did I just watch? Tucker is brave. Tucker is brave. Yo. Talk about, remember I said before, I said Tucker has reached levels of not giving a fuck I aspire to. All right, so he's gone above that now. He's gone above that now. He's reached new levels of not giving a fuck. I'm trying to think of anybody in this earth who has reached those levels of not giving a fuck. Damn. Tucker is wildin'. Yeah, he don't care. Fresh Mike said he don't care. He don't care. Arnaldo said Michelle punching the air right now. Yeah, Tucker is gangster. Higgins said Tucker gangster. Wow. Wow. On a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. He chose violence. See, Tuesdays are the hot days. Tuesdays are the hot media days. Mondays and Fridays are usually dead. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday be lit. That's where all the ops come out. Media be right there. 3:30 p.m. Tucker drops this shit. And look at the caption. Man who claims he had sex with Barack Obama in 1999 tells his story. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Where do you think everybody gonna be at Wednesday, 6 p.m.? On the X app. That's the first time I referred to it as X. But that's we got for shit like this, man. Damn. This is gonna be insane. Insane. Yo, get your memes ready. Get your meme mind ready. Cause you gotta watch these things with like meme mentality in mind. You know, where it's just out of context. You need the out of context video clip. Be ready for those. Uncle Hotep gonna be on top of that. Pause. But I know he's gonna be taking these clips and doing his gay bit for his Elon bucks. See what his check look like. Unc might break 4 figures with this grift, with his Elon bucks check. He might break 4 figures with his Elon bucks grift. He just might. This is wild. This is wild. Tucker has lost his mind. What is up with him? Jay Pollan said they re-released the Obama papers about his relationship with men. Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago, right? Sauce the Prophet said Tucker reaching maximum grift. Maximum grift. Maximum grift. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't watch this thing. I can't watch this thing. I need y'all to watch it. I can't watch gay people talk about gay sex. I can't do it. It makes my stomach turn. I'm homophobic. Like when people say, you know, homophobic is when you fear. Yeah, I'm afraid of gay people. Like it makes my stomach turn. I could work with them though, but once y'all start talking about sex, that's when my stomach. You know what I mean? It just triggers me. So I can't watch this. So I'm gonna wait for y'all. I need y'all to watch it with your clip mind. Don't watch it for content, but I need y'all to watch it and give me the clip minds. Okay? Just give me the clips, the funny, out of context shit. You know, mostly Tucker, because I don't want to use a gay man out of context. I don't want to do that. Last thing I want to do is post a video on my feed. You know what I mean? Reenacting some gay shit. I'm homophobic. And really, you know, that's a big part that's holding my career back. The big thing holding my career back is my homophobia. It just is, you know, that's just what it is. But I think, you know, because of the power moves we making behind the scenes, like we making power moves that y'all not even seeing right now. So when them shits pan out, and I'm gonna bring y'all in on one. I'm gonna bring y'all in. Wait till I bring y'all in. We have a plan. Trust and believe we have a plan. I'm talking to Ant tonight. Men of Order has a plan. Men of Order has a plan. I'm telling you right now, they can't stop it. They can't stop it. There's nothing they can do to stop it. What happens when they don't give you? What happens when they don't give you a chair at their table? What happens when they don't let you sit at their table? You hear that? You get your own table.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We have a plan. Said we want food. Hotep does say you make your own table. Steph Colonel said Obama ain't gay. He just wanted to suck dick. What? I had to purify the chat after that one. You know Unc gonna be on it. You know he is. You make your own table. Make your own table. That's tomorrow past your bedtime. Shout out to EMP in the chat. It seems a bit beneath Tucker station to give his audience TMZ style reporting. It does. This is so off brand for Tucker, which lets me know he's reached levels of not giving a fuck. Like, you know what told me was when he was on stage, I forget what presentation it was, and he was just up there interviewing everybody and just laughing his ass off. He was getting good laughs up there. I'm like, yo, Tucker's really feeling himself. So for him to do something this off brand means he like, I'm gonna show you how fucking powerful I am, Fox News. This feels like a jab at Fox. That's what this feels like. It's like, Fox News, you fucked up. Watch this. Watch me by myself be bigger than you. EMP said you couldn't work with Blair. Could I work with Blair? See, trans is tough. And I met Blair. I met Blair. Blair was sitting right here. Michael Malice was sitting. Michael Malice was sitting here. Blair was sitting in between Michael Malice and Alex Jones. And I only left my seat. I got a real good seat up top. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sit with the influencers. I thought that was kind of bougie. I wanted the best seat in the house to watch the movie, and that wasn't the front row. Front row, your neck be like this. I did not. I wanted to enjoy the movie. It was about Alex Jones. I fucking love Alex Jones. Okay, pause. So I want to watch it. Blair White was sitting right there. I went down the road and I ended up actually, I spoke to Blair. I say, hey, look, I ain't got no problem with you. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can unblock me and all of that. Da-da-da-da. I'll follow you back. You know, it's all love. because she had me blocked. I mean, why you got me blocked? So we followed each other. Well, some months later, she ended up unfollowing me. I don't know why, so I unfollowed her. You know, I got no problem working with Blair White. You know, I just don't know in what capacity. You know, I don't know. I don't know in what capacity. You know, but I had no problem working with people. Again, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do over there. I'm a businessman. I'm a real hardcore businessman where I can work with anybody as long as you're ready to do good business. If Blair White come on some fuck shit, I can't do it. You know what it was? I made a comment about her marriage. Black Hotep said Blair is haram. Alhamdulillah. Gotta bless the chat and shit. Get rid of those vibes. So no, that's enough about Blair White. But this Tucker shit. See what happens with Tucker? You start talking about Blair White from this shit. This is how you know this is off-brand for Tucker. Anyway, I'm gonna have another CBDC report. Follow me on Twitter for the CBDC report before the CBDC report. Oh damn, I ain't get to go in the Nash's equilibrium. It's all good. I told my kids that shit. Maybe we'll go over it another time. I gotta go do fucking. It's first day of school. I gotta go be a dad. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. That Tucker shit fucked me up though. Make sure y'all go get y'all Master Focus, man. Link in the description box below for the discount. I'll holler.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in.
How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.